What up, everybody? Have you ever heard the phrase, you need to get your priorities straight? Well, that is what we're going to look at today. A Power Book 2 Ghost Season 3 main character priorities check. Now that we are a few episodes in and we have a good feel for what all the characters are on this season. Starting with Tariq. His top priority is reuniting with his mom and Yaz. But as he told Tasha in his letter, it will take a lot of money and influence to make it happen. That is why this makes finishing school also his top priority, because he needs his trust fund money to make this happen. I've heard a lot of people talk about what does Tariq actually have coming to him with the clubs going to Simon Stern and all. And it is a lot. Going back to Power Season 3, Ghost needed a certain amount of money to pay the Bassetts for his club expansion, but Milan told Ghost the Carrot Bassett money will be paid to him. Desperate to make the Bassett deal go through, Ghost asked Tasha to dip into the kid's trust, but she refused and told Ghost to find another way. So even almost 10 years ago now, there was some millions in that trust. And over time, all that money has done was grow. And Tariq gets both his and Raina's money, so I'm guessing at least $3 million. Tariq's back in the game right now, but never wanted to get back in the game in the first place. Before Noma found him, Tariq had told Kane and Brayden that it's been a relief for him being out of the game. But now Tariq has Noma as a plug and is working on Wall Street. He might start making millions himself and might not even need to worry about his trust. But in my mind, money and influence isn't even what Tariq needs to reunite with his family. Killing Uncle Tommy is the only thing that is going to bring safety to Tasha St. Patrick. Getting me to Effie. I saw a post on social media this morning that Effie is Noma and Tommy Egan's daughter. And y'all think some of my theories are out of left field. But one thing I always respected about Effie is that she told Tariq, all I ever wanted to do was survive. And as someone who made it out of the game, that's probably the realest line I've heard on Power. Effie's top priority is surviving, and she gonna hustle to do it. The opening scene of episode 3 basically exposes a lot of the characters' priorities. And Effie was on the road going from campus to campus hustling, while every other character we saw was on their own personal agenda. Effie was the one putting in that work. Getting me to Brayden Weston. And he is a wild card, and the one character in who I couldn't pinpoint a single priority. Like Tariq said, Brayden gets a million chances and he acts like it. Since his whole scam so far this season was just getting back in the game after blowing himself up at Stansfield, I would say Brayden's top priority is just being a drug dealer. Just being a drug dealer. Not doing it out of necessity or survival like Effie. Not because he want to be rich like Tariq. Because Brayden is already rich and has no excuse to be in the game other than he likes it. He could walk away today and have a 6-figure plus job the rest of his life without ever taking a risk of going to prison. Brayden, you need to get your priorities straight. Getting me to the Tejadas and starting with Kane, since he's the one running the board right now. Kane is on his Mufasa King of the Jungle stuff right now. His top priority is the power. Kane was overlooked by his family for 2 seasons, even though he was the one who spent his childhood in the streets, learning the game, and building his reputation. Like he said in season 1, you made me this way, Ma, only to be rejected over and over again. Now Kane has all the power after connecting with Noma, and learning the truth about Poppy. And we can see what time Kane is on in the opening scene of episode 3 as he is having Lorenzo beat down by who I think is the Jamaica Ave crew. Don't be surprised if this info don't get back to Tariq, who reports it back to Monet and blows up Lorenzo's lie and Kane's power trip. Getting me to Drew, who thinks he's actually supposed to be running something, but he can't stay off the Grindr app long enough to even complete a business meeting. So it's obvious what Drew's priority is without me even saying it. And this is why Drew could never run things. His priorities have not changed since season 1. Drew was supposed to follow around Tariq to learn his business, but met Everett and got distracted instead. Drew should be in art school somewhere so he can sell his paintings as a way to clean his family's dirty money. We saw Cartier Farid doing this in Raising Kanan, and Big L also did this in BMF. And since Drew is already an artist, it would be the perfect way for the Tejadas to clean their money, either though they already have the bar. Getting me to Diana, all she wanted to do is go to school, but now Lorenzo brought her the work and is forcing her to sell drugs on Stansfield campus. I have no idea what kind of man would take a bag of drugs to his 19-20-year-old daughter at college and tell her just to be smart about it. If she was really smart about it, she would have handed the bag right back to Poppy and said, "Poppy, I'm here to go to school. Take your drugs and go somewhere else." But at the same time, since Lorenzo is the one paying for her schooling, could she really even say no? Getting me to Lorenzo, the only thing he thinking about is keeping his secret about killing Zeke from Monet. And for those of you who think Lorenzo is gonna flip this around and blame Kane, that's not gonna happen. Kane was with Drew when Zeke was killed. So all Lorenzo is doing is building up lie on top of lie before he is found out and hopefully killed off the show with the quickness. I can't stand this character, and that's part of the reason why I said Kane was Ghost's son, because Kane is one of my favorite characters, and Lorenzo is the biggest punk in the whole Power universe other than the cops. Wrapping up the Tejada family with Monet. Her only priority to start the season was finding Zeke's killer. And now that she thinks she's done that, her only priority at the moment is staying out of jail. For 2 seasons, we watched Monet catch body after body after body. But now Detective Whitman is onto her and knows she killed DC Joe, Rico, the contractor, and Mecca, and he is also blaming her for Carrie Milgram's death. 5 bodies he's trying to pin on Monet, and we know for sure she killed 4 of them. And they only need enough evidence for 1 to convict her. That gets me to Davis, who has been getting his hands more and more dirty since representing the St. Patrick's and the Tejadas. But it's blood on his hands from his childhood that might come back to haunt him. While taking care of Davis's top priority, his brother Theo, Sachs figured out that it was actually Davis who killed the man. Getting me close to the end of my list, I have Councilman Tate. Tate is currently trying to become Congressman Tate, but was told he needs to find a wife ASAP to bring his poll numbers up. This is where Professor Harper Bonnet comes into play. Tate claims she has been his only real relationship, and we see them kiss in episode 3. So Tate, being the player he is working on a wife to further his political career. Finishing up with Lauren Baldwin, whose only priority is getting free from Jenny Sullivan and getting her life back. And as far as Jenny Sullivan, Blanca Rodriguez, Whitman, and Sachs, I have no idea what their priorities are because I can't relate to a cop or understand what would drive a person to take away another man's freedom. Never called the cops in my life, never snitched in my life. I've had it all happen to me except die, but I always kept it in the streets like real G's do. And there you have it. Leave your thoughts in the comments.